It is simply incredible that Pakistanis can use cheap and affordable steel pipes. The company is located in Bai and produces high-quality steel pipes with super cost-effectiveness. As soon as I walked into this leading workshop, I saw that the workers were using the aerial control to lift the steel coil and transfer it to the ground. Then they used the aerial control to insert a thick roller into the steel coil. Then the workers were convenient for the next unrolling of the steel coil. Although this process seems very dangerous, it is actually not safe at all. If you are not careful, you will have a broken bone and explode. In serious cases, you will dig a pit on the mountain and bury the package. When the steel coil is fixed to the support, people will open the steel coil. Because the curvature of the steel plate is very large, the front steel plate needs to be leveled. There is no special equipment here. After putting a steel pipe into the bottom of the steel plate, several workers will jump on the steel plate to make the shape of the steel plate flat. Then you need to insert the steel plate into the longitudinal cutting machine. People will use aerial control to lift the steel plate to a certain height. In this way, it can be cut into steel coils of standard width by manpower. The longitudinal cutting machine feed port is then cut by the longitudinal cutting wheel. Since the longitudinal cutting wheel will get stuck on the steel plate, it needs to be taken out manually. Then the steel plate can be inserted into the winding machine. This process requires workers to adjust the position of each steel plate so that it can be stuck on the winding wheel smoothly. Then the longitudinal cutting machine can be started to cut the steel coil. At this time, the winding wheel will automatically rewind the cut steel plate, quickly split it into steel coils of standard width. After the steel coil is split, people will weld and fix the steel plate at the tail to ensure that the steel coil will not fall apart. Then workers need to use aerial control to transfer the steel coil to the position called flat attack. This process is really a bold one. Once the hoisting chain falls off, the village has to prepare for the attack overnight. After that, the workers will cut off the fixed welding points on the steel coil, and the steel coil will be inserted into the position called flat attack. The steel plate is then fed into the machine for flattening. In order to reduce the mold between the steel plate and the roller, workers will add a large amount of waste oil to the machine. The steel plate, after the machine is flattened, will be automatically rolled up, and then the workers will hoist it onto the rotating bracket for the subsequent production of steel pipes. In order to ensure the continuity of steel pipe production, workers will also use electric welding to weld the steel coils together. At the same time, they must ensure that the welds are flat and firm. Then they can start the pipe making machine. This 8-hand pipe making machine looks relatively old. The working performance is still very good. As the steel plate is fed into the pipe making machine, multiple arc-shaped fast-moving rollers will exert a certain force on the steel plate. As the speed and arc become larger and larger, the steel plate can be smoothly shaped into the shape of a steel pipe. The closed steel pipe will be automatically high-frequency welded, and the excess weld bar will be cut off by the knife edge to ensure the smooth and flat appearance of the steel pipe, and then welded. After a relatively high-value shaping, the next produced steel pipe will be inserted into the flying tool. In this way, when steel pipes are continuously produced, the tool will automatically cut them into standard lengths. Then the produced steel pipes can be packaged and sold. Let's take a look at the whole process. What do you think of the quality of the steel pipes produced in this way?